Hello everyone, welcome back to episode 2 of medical grade modeling. Since we last left off with episode 1, I have built quite a few new models, even primed up some of my termagants that I had, but our focus on episode 2 is going to be a lot smaller than the 10 models of last time. I picked up a Heroes of the Chapter box and have a Apothecary Biologis that I am going to build up for my next project to be able to add to those aggressors that we built and painted in episode 1. So step 1, have this guy built, have his base right here. Once again, the Magnet Baron bases, not sponsored. Just going to finish up this base, and we're going to start off this guy by priming him in some Gray Seer. So I'll be back with you guys once this guy is primed. All right, now that we have the Apothecary primed in Gray Seer, I have the base, or I have my texture paste down on the base. What I'm going to do now is start blocking in every piece of the Apothecary that is going to be not white. So put the red down on his cape, put all the black down on the joint spaces, on the weapon, his Apothecary tools up there. Put everything down that it's not going to be white, because if I accidentally spill over it, I have a pot of Gray Seer that I can just go over anything that I spill and get it back down to this base color. And then we will work on making the white armor. So I'll go over the white, how I'm going to do the white armor when we get to it. But until then, when I come back, I should have some color on this guy. So be back with you shortly. Okay, coming back to you guys, I do finally have some color on the Biologis. I did black Templar's contrast paint for everything that you see that is black. Catachan flesh on the 2 pouches over there. I have some Mephiston red or corn red base and Mephiston red for some highlights on the apron. And I did put some Mephiston red on that red lens up there and on the Purity Seal, and some Wraithbone on the paper for the Purity Seal. But now, I think it's time, before I go any further on the colors, to work on the white armor. So, the recipe that I am using, I stole from someone, I can't remember their name at the moment, but I will link their video below in the description where I got the recipe for the white armor from. We are going to start with this Gray Seer base, and we are going to highlight everything, or not highlight, shade everything rather, with Soulblight Gray. And once everything is nice and shaded with the Soulblight Gray, we will go back in with some Corax White and cover all of the armor that is light facing. So everything, the 2 hip pads, most of the shin guards, especially that armor over there, all of the backpack, the helmet and everything that's really visible to light will shade over with some Corax White. And then I have some Pro Acryl Bold Titanium White that I just bought that I am going to use for the brightest highlights. Once everything is highlighted or finished and the armor is done with the white, we will come back in and start touching up all of the little details. We'll put some light on yellow rather on the light. We'll come in, do all of the computer screens, finish up with some Retributor armor and Stormhost Silver with some Reichland Flesh shade on all of the gold bits. And yeah, it is coming along nicely. I should be able to get this done here today. So I will be back with you guys once the armor is completely white. Okay, we have gone and shaded everything with the Soulblight Gray. We've put Corax White down, and then gone over and highlighted everything with the Bold Titanium White, and I am really liking how this white armor is looking right now. So, with all of that done, we have to go in and put the yellow on the shoulder pad, put all of the Retributor armor on all of the gold bits, and finish up putting all of the red on all of the Apothecary markings. So I'm going to go do that, put some other colors down on the lenses, and I will be back with you maybe mid-update, but also possibly when it's done. So I will see you guys when I get back. Okay, and now, with all of that, the Apothecary Biologis is done. I am still waiting for some acetone to come in from Amazon, because I do have some stamps that I'd like to be able to use to put a Imperial Fist logo on that shoulder pad, but until that comes in, I'm not going to be able to make this Imperial Fists, or at least stamped shoulder pad. But I'm very happy with how the paint job came out on this Apothecary Biologis. Very happy with it. And now all I have to do is just work on finishing up the base. So we're just gonna prime that up and paint it in our usual manner, and I'll be back with you when the model's complete. And welcome back, everybody. Not quite done with the model yet, but everything is painted and we do have it based finally. All we have to do now is I'm just waiting for the rest of the paint to dry on the base before I go ahead and put a coat of matte varnish on the Biologis, and then we'll stick some grass tufts down. Now, normally this is supposed to be painted as, or the box art is painted as if it's standing on concrete, but the rest of my army is painted as if it's standing on some red sandstone, so I just decided to. Concrete looks close enough to said red sandstone, so that's what I decided to paint it as. But I will come back to you guys once we get the matte varnish on it and all the rest of the grass tufts are on, so I'll see you guys in a little bit. And with that, we have the matte varnish on, and the grass tufts are down. Overall, I'm very happy with how this model came out. There's a lot of good detail on it. I'm really happy with the way that the white armor, come on, you can focus, with how the white armor came out. I think it looks fantastic. And I am working on cooking up my own homebrew chapter that's going to involve some white armor. So this recipe was fairly easy, and I think I'll be able to use it on a full army. So I am very happy with how this character came out. I think it was a good choice for my second project, and we'll have to see what my next project's going to be. I'm thinking about making some more blade guard. I don't think I'm going to use these. I did buy a box of blade guard because these ones don't have the Imperial Fists 3D shoulder pads to complete out my next squad, but I do want to paint up that blade guard Ancient and make that a full 6-man squad. So I think my next project is probably going to be building up those 3 more blade guard and then painting them along with that blade guard Ancient. So we will see. Maybe my next project may even be these Termagants that we have up there, but we'll see. Well, thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed watching my journey through painting my first Apothecary Biologis, or first medic on medical grade minis, and hope you'll continue watching in the next one.